I have a question for the FBI. You see, in 2012, I was told that my lawyer, Kline Preston, was in bed with Russia, and he was going to throw my case to help Russia. And Russia was paying him, and that's why I didn't have to pay him as much as I probably should have. I was also told a few years later that I was under prison surveillance, and I found out it was because my lawyer, Kline Preston, was under surveillance. So this was in about 2014. But in 2015, my lawyer, working with Torsion, who's sanctioned now by our Treasury, was able to lead a delegation of people from the NRA. So our government had to have known that the NRA did not know that they were being basically, set up. I mean, why would our government not call the NRA and say, excuse me, but this guy, Kline Preston, is a Russian operative? You really shouldn't be taking this trip. I mean, isn't it the job of our agencies to protect our country? And I learned that Kline Preston, who was working with Torsion, was a Russian operative in 2012. Yet the NRA didn't know about it, and they take a trip to Moscow? I think something's whacked. That makes no sense. But what does make sense is in 2012, I told Andrew Breitbart that Nissan did business with Iran and was connected to Putin, and they were getting taxpayer money, and Andrew Breitbart was going to write a story about it, and then he was murdered. Yes, he was murdered. I was told that he was murdered. So my question is why did the FBI not investigate the murder of Andrew Breitbart, who was murdered by Carlos Ghosn, who's now in jail in Japan? Thank you, Japan. And the SEC is probing, and they're going to find out that Nissan, the woman Mona that took that money in Amsterdam, that $500,000, that woman is Iranian, and she was Carlos Ghosn's mistress. These dots are coming together, but the dot that makes no sense is how come I was told in 2012 my lawyer was a Russian operative, and why did the NRA not get a warning from the FBI saying, hey, you might not want to take a trip with this dude?